Hello students, today in the class 12 session we are going to discuss about the chapter number 10 biology, microbes in human welfare. So we have studied in the previous chapters, chapter number 8, that is there are different microbes which are causing so many diseases in plants as well as in animals. Here in chapter 8 we have studied about the diseases in animals. So that was a different diseases in human being. But here, as the name indicates, we are going to study microbes in human welfare. As the name indicates that they are used for the welfare, that is advantages or the useful functioning of human body and the other processes related to the growth and economy of human being. So let's have a look at some slides so that we will be very familiar with the topics, with the subtopics under it. Next. So what are microbes? Microbes are the minute organisms which we can't see with our naked eyes, that you have studied earlier in standard 8th as well as in standard 11th. They are only seen under microscopes, and you are very much familiar with the different microorganisms or their groups which we are going to study here. So different bacteria, fungi, protozoa, algae, viruses and viroids. एल्गी में some उसके ले सकते हैं हम, all algae नहीं, only few algae and viruses and viroids and also prions which have the proteinaceous, they are the proteinaceous infectious agents. So all these are included under the category of microbes. So next, where the microbes habitat? What is their living place? So let's have a look. This is just brief introduction about the microbes. So just like God, that they are omnipresent. God is everywhere. Similar is the case with microbes. Okay. So they are present in the thermal vents where some people or some animals or other animals can't survive. Even they can survive under very high temperatures, deep in the soil, water, oceans, thermal vents, soil, and also in human beings, in our body as well as in the body of certain animals. So their place of living varies as per their routine nature or their metabolic pathways. So they are considered that they are present as everywhere. Okay. So here are next we will see these microbes in lab. If we see, so they are looking like this. For example, bacteria, when we grow bacteria in a petri dish and observe under microscopes, they look like these certain colonies. So you can see in your laboratory also. Similarly, there are different shapes of those bacteria. In your NCERT book, they have given some different pictures of these microbes. So some are just rod shaped, some are round in shape, and some are having some different organelles present or the different appendages present. So just previous one, they are the just like rod shaped bacteria, lactobacillus. The next one you can see here. So they are rounded in shape. So these are bacteria. Which bacteria? Coccus bacteria, rounded in shape. Next one. See here. It is rod shape, but it is having flagella. That makes this bacteria motile. Okay. Next. So now come to the viruses. What are viruses? So these are the mostly infectious agents. So this is the virus, the bacteriophage, that you have also studied this diagram or this picture and about its nature in standard 11. So these are the viruses that infect bacteria. So It is a picture of bacteriophage. It is also given in your NCERT book. You can have a question. So define what are these, or what does it cause, or what is identify the picture. Any type of question can be there. Next. So these are the adenoviruses, and they are responsible for respiratory tract infections. Next. So these are some compact shape, rod shape tobacco mosaic viruses. Okay, so these are the general basic different structures of these microbes. Similarly, you can also see the fungal colony in your lab also, or in your home also. Even you can take some rotting material, or wherever you find a fungus, you can grow it, already growing at very fast rate in this humid temperature. So you can study the colony also. Let's see, have a look. So it will look like this fungus. You must have seen on your bread and your leather clothes, your belts, and anywhere else which is not hygienic. Hygienic place, that place is not hygienic properly. So these colonies are grown in petri dish in the lab culture. So one by one we are going to study here the roles of microbes in different areas or in the spheres for the human welfare. Today under this chapter we are going to take the first subtopic, that is how the microbes are useful to us or we people in our daily life. Okay, so we are taking microbes in household products. In your kitchen there are so many microbes which are useful to your mother or your taste of tongue. Okay, so let's see first of all very familiar example, that is, what is this? It is a milk bowl with milk, and we are going to add a little bit curd or with a spoon in just lukewarm milk. Every day your mother used to perform this activity in your kitchen. Okay, so what happens here, when we put a small amount of curd, it acts as inoculum or starter. It acts as inoculum or starter, and it is kept covered overnight. And what happens after overnight? You see that there is formation of curd in that bowl. Okay. In next slide, you will see what's the special thing, what's the special microbe that is making your milk curd. So that is nothing, that is just a small amount of bacteria that is known as lactobacillus. You can say here lab. Okay, L-A-B, lab, lactobacillus bacteria. So these bacteria, when they come in contact with milk, they start dividing or multiplying and increases its number, and they digest the milk protein here, and they convert milk into curd. In next slide, see how they look like. So this is a particular rod-shaped bacteria you will see here, and all these belong to which type? Lactobacillus bacteria. Okay, so what's the role of these bacteria? Number one, they have made your milk into, changed your milk into curd. Second thing is that they are enhancing the nutritional quality of the milk with vitamin B12. So this is the common case where they improves the nutritional quality by increasing vitamin B12. So you can have very well nutritious curd here. Second thing is that they are also checking the disease causing microbes present in your alimentary canal or stomach. So what are those bacteria? They are E. coli bacteria. So they also check the disease causing microbes in your body. So in our stomach they play a very beneficial role here, means they are checking the disease causing microbes. Okay, so there are two functions here. Number one, they improves the nutritional quality by increasing vitamin B12. Second thing is that they are checking the disease causing microbes in your stomach. So you will definitely have this question and you have to very particular about writing these two important points here. And how they do that? They digest the milk protein. Okay, so lactobacillus role is digesting the milk protein, changing it into curd, and then checking the role of disease causing microorganisms, and third is enhancing the nutritional quality of your food by increasing vitamin B12. Okay, so this was the role of bacteria in curd. So let's have a look some other very delicious food that is mouth-watering materials here: bread, idli, dosa, dhokla, and all these. So these mouth-watering dishes are also the gift by a very beautiful and very enhancing flavoring microorganisms. Let's see how these materials become too spongy, too delicious. So let's see what you do whenever you eat chana bhatura, these idlis, this dhokla. Your mother prepares a batter. First of all, a batter is made, or you need a dough. When a small amount of microbe, that is called as yeast or baker's yeast, Saccharomyces cerevisiae, is added here. I will explain it. The dough rises. Okay, this dough rises, it expands and become fluffy and spongy. So why this dough rises? What is the metabolic phenomena occurring here? It is fermentation. So yeast undergo fermentation, and what is the product of fermentation? Carbon dioxide. So this carbon dioxide escapes out. So it makes the dough fluffy and spongy. In next slide, let's see how the yeast looks like. So these are the yeast here, Saccharomyces cerevisiae, and they multiply in the dough by bud formation, so which increases its number and makes the dough spongy and porous by releasing carbon dioxide, and the process is fermentation. You have to keep in mind that what is the basic phenomena behind it, that is fermentation. What makes the dough spongy, that is release of carbon dioxide, it makes it porous. And what microorganism is used here, that is yeast or Saccharomyces cerevisiae. Okay, so all these one mark questions should be very clear in your mind now. Now move to the next slide. In some South Indian people, they make a particular drink. That drink is known as toddy, and it is also the result of fermentation. Of which material? They ferment the sap of palm tree leaves. Okay, so by fermentation they prepare this drink that is known as toddy. Okay, so it is also due to the result of fermentation. One more thing, it's you are seeing here a very beautiful picture that is of Swiss cheese. It is very much costly but very delicious cheese. So what makes this particular more porous, more spongy cheese, that is also by the reward of this bacteria, that is Propionibacterium shermani. Okay, these bacteria when processed, so this Swiss cheese is more porous and spongy and delicious in taste. In next, Let's see one more here, one more eating material, that is fungi से जो बनता है, that is Roquefort cheese, Roquefort cheese. So this cheese is by fungi. Let's have a look at the previous slide. That is also cheese, but that is made by bacterium. In this slide, this is also a variety of cheese, but formed by fungi, and this name of this fungi is Penicillium roqueforti. Okay, so if we compile this all in household products, you will have to look or learn what microorganism is producing all these materials. First of all curd, then toddy, then idli dosa, then Swiss cheese, then Roquefort cheese. Okay, you have to learn the names of the microorganisms, the process behind it or the metabolic reactions going there, and scientific name of that particular microorganism and how the product is formed. Okay, thank you and have a nice day.